Hello listeners and viewers. Welcome to Kaduna State Ministry of Education Radio and TV e-learning program designed for our SS3 and other students staying at home due to the coronavirus pandemic. The present administration, under the able leadership of His Excellency, Malam Nasir Ahmed El-Rufai, is positioned, as always, to ensure that under his leadership, our students are not left behind in all areas of human endeavors, especially education. Kaduna State is the center of learning. Therefore, we want to ensure that our students excel in their forthcoming examinations and beyond. Students and other learners at home are given this opportunity in order to continue learning, as education is a continuous process. Different subjects will be taught in this program to assist students to perform excellently in the forthcoming Senior School Certificate examination being conducted by NECO and WAEC as soon as schools reopen. Teachers making presentations will always provide their names and phone numbers during each presentation, and they can be contacted for questions, further explanations, and/or clarifications. The following numbers and contacts can also be reached for expression of any concern or observation: 090-865-00545 or 080-383-62072. Our website is www.education.kdsg.gov.ng. Our email education@kdsg.gov.ng or education.kdsg@gmail.com. Our YouTube channel, Ministry of Education, Kaduna State. Our Twitter handle @Kaduna_MOE. Or our Facebook page, Ministry of Education, Kaduna State. Stay safe, stay at home, and learn well. Thank you, happy listening, and happy viewing.
Good day, learners. You are welcome to Kaduna State e-learning program on radio and television. My name is Tijani Muhammad Aliyu. I'm a marketing teacher. Today's topic is products. From our previous lesson, we must have discussed product as one of the terms in marketing, or one of the terminologies in marketing. But here today, we are going to discuss what is product. So in the course outline, we are going to look at what product is and the classification of product. Now, what is a product? A product can be defined as anything that can be offered to the market for attention, acquisition, sales, use, and consumption, which satisfy needs and wants. It can also be defined as anything that can be offered to the market for attention, acquisition, use, and consumption. A product may be defined as a bundle of physical or psychological satisfaction that buyer receives from a purchase. What do I mean? Let me explain this. As you're watching me via your TV set, or you are listening to me via your radio set. That TV you are watching me via, or your radio you are listening me to, is a product. Your device, your handset you are going to use in watching the program on YouTube is a product. The chair you are sitting on is a product. That biro you are using and the paper you are using to jot are all products. Even you, my dear learner at home, you are a product of your parents and equally a product of your school. This will take us down to what's called classification of product. Products are broadly classified into two categories. Number one is industrial good, and number two, consumer goods. Now, what is industrial goods? These are goods purchased for further production of other goods or for use in conducting a business. Industrial goods are classified into 5 distinct groups, which include, number one, raw materials. Raw materials are unprocessed industrial goods, which becomes part of another physical product and which have not been processed in any form. They include raw materials, that is the agri raw materials and natural raw materials. Now, the raw materials are divided into two categories. Number one is agricultural products. Agricultural product includes the following: wheat, corn, fruits, livestock, egg, raw milk, etc. While the natural products include those products that occur in their natural states that have not been tampered with. Say, for instance, gold, coal, copper, zinc, crude oil, limestone, etc. The second one is fabrication or fabricating material and parts. These are industrial goods that pass through further processing. Example, flour for bread, yarn for cloth. Fabricating parts are industrial goods used directly with no further change in its physical form. They become part of the finished goods. Example, fan belts, the one for use in your vehicles. They become part of that vehicle. They are all classified as fabrication parts. Tires, parts of your car, all part of fabrication parts. Then you have the rim of a car too. It's also part of fabrication parts. The sparkling plug is also part of the fabrication parts in a vehicle. Learners at home, let's go to the third point, which is installation. These are manufactured industrial goods which are long-lived, expensive machinery and equipment. Examples, we have water tanks, computers, diesel engines, textile machines, blast furnaces for steel mills, etc. Now, what is this? Your installation equipment are those equipments that you have in your houses, especially the water tank that runs the water taps through your house, just in case there's a failure of water from the public sector. Then the textile machines also are part of installation materials, which are used to produce processed clothing into final ones, yarns into final clothing. Then you have blast furnaces for steel material, for steel mills. Number 4, which is the operating supplies. These consist of convenience goods of the industrial market, which are short-lived, low-priced in nature, and are usually purchased with minimum effort. They assist companies' operation but do not form part of the finished goods. Example, whiteboard markers, the one we use in our schools. Lubricating oil, the one we use for our generators. They are all operating supplies, but they don't form part of the company's goods. Then we have your pencils, the biros you use at home, etc. Number 5 of the part of the industrial goods are accessory equipments. What are accessory equipments? This involves industrial good that does not become part of the finished goods and are exhausted after repeated usage with short lifespan, that is of installation but no longer of that of operating supplies. Example are cash registers, your movement books, your school diaries, your duty book in the school, then your time book for incoming people to the school and those going out to. Those are all accessory equipments. What you can access at any point in time when you enter an establishment or an institution of learning, as case may be. Now, the second part of classification of product is the consumer goods. Now, what is a consumer good? Consumer goods are bought from retail stores for personal, family, or household use. Those goods that you buy from retail stores for your personal consumptions are classified as consumer goods. They are grouped into 4 subcategories on the basis of consumer buying habits. Number 1, we have convenience goods. Now, what's convenience goods? These are products that customers usually buy with minimum shopping efforts. Example, your newspapers, your soaps, your biscuits, your toilet accessories that you use, like tissues, like your toilet soaps, and your detergents, that's disinfectants that you use in the toilets. Consumer goods are subdivided, convenience goods are subdivided into 3 major parts. We have 1, the emergency goods. These are goods that are purchased for its urgency. Goods that are purchased when the need is very urgent. Example, we have the umbrella, the raincoats, the rain boots, and their likes. Second one is staple goods. These are goods which a consumer already plans for before he buys them. Examples are your flashlights, that's your torch lights, your batteries, your light bulbs. You plan for them for you to have them. You don't just walk into it and just go and collect it from a retail shop. You plan for you to have those goods. They are all called staple goods. The third part of it, which is the C, is the impulse goods. Impulse goods are those goods that are not formally planned for, which means you are buying on impulse. Goods that are not formally planned for. You just walk by, probably you are working in, if you followed your younger ones, your mom, to a shopping mall, then you saw a goods that you like, your mom just picked or your dad just picked it for you, you go away with it. It's called impulse good. That process you are increasing is called impulse buying. That is formally you never planned for it. You never planned to buy it. Example, ice cream, for instance. You just say ice creams you want to buy. You never plan to buy ice cream because you are with your younger ones. Just to buy ice cream, you give it to them. It's all called impulse buying. Now, the 2 major categories under consumer good is this: the shopping goods, which is the consumers usually purchase after comparing quality, price, suitability, and style of these goods in different retail shops, which means he has to do some window shoppings. The customer goes around, does some window shopping before he buys them, either because he wants to get the best of the price, the best of the suitability, the best of the style that he wants. Examples are electronics, furnitures, clothing, etc. Shopping goods are further divided into 2. Number 1 is homogeneous shopping goods. Number 2 is heterogeneous shopping goods. Now, what is homogeneous shopping goods? Homogeneous shopping goods are those goods that have the same quality and quietly differ specifically in price. The same quality. It's just the price that is different. Example are your electronics, your television systems, your automobile, tires, stereo, etc. They all serve the same purpose, but the price is just what makes it different. The second one is heterogeneous goods. These are goods that are slightly different in features and services that may be more important than price. Example are computers. Why you buy your computers or your handsets, your Android phones, for example, is because of the features that differs it or differentiates it from the other one. For HP computers, for instance, it might be a household name compared to maybe Toshiba, which is more of a TV producing company or TV manufacturing company. So most people are preferably used to Hewlett Packard, that is HP products for computers. Now, this will take us to the third one, which is specialty goods. Well, now, what's a specialty good? These are goods that the consumer really wants to buy and will definitely make a special effort to buy them. No matter the price, the consumer will look for these goods. No matter the price, the consumer will look for this good. The price is not a problem, but class is a major thing here. Example are what? Your jewelries, your cars, there's customized cars, then you have electronic equipments, designers' clothes, and perfumes. Now let's go to designers' clothes, for instance. There are some customers or consumers that wouldn't want to buy any other product except it's a designer's product. Maybe, for instance, you are not used to buying ordinary wears. You have to be a Polo Ralph designer or Dolce & Gabbana or Mark and Spencer, and so many of them like that. If it's not designers wear, if they're not customized, most customers that fall into this category of specialty goods will never patronize such goods. Now let's take a look at perfumes too. Perfumes differ in qualities and sizes. If it's not a designer's perfume, maybe like Fahrenheit, Cool Water by Devil Dove, so many of them, certain customers or consumers will not patronize such. They will go make a long way to purchase those goods. They wouldn't compromise standard. No matter where it is, they will order for it. Even though it's from abroad, they will order for it. The price is not the problem, but the class, the status, and the prestige that follows such specialty products. Now, number 4, which is the unsought goods. And now, what do you mean by unsought goods? These are goods that are not known by the consumer. These are goods that the consumer either does not know about it or knows about it but does not normally think of buying them. For instance, you have your blood bank and insurance life policies. Most customers don't even want to patronize life insurance policies probably because of their belief system or their religious affiliation, and some are even cultural in nature. The other one, which is the blood donation type, it's not everybody that always believe in doing it, especially for Red Cross, donate blood for Red Cross or Red Crescent. Most people are always shying away from it. Why? Because it is a matter of personal choice. It's not mandatory on you. It has to be your personal choice that you are doing to create, to search for that good. Otherwise, they will remain unsought goods. People hardly search for them. They hardly search for them. That's why it's called unsought goods. My dear learners at home, we started this lesson by the definition of product, which we said product is anything that can be offered to the market for attention, acquisition, use, sales, and consumption. Which you mentioned that even the handset you are using at home is a product, and we said the TV set and the radio set you are listening to me to via is a product. The chair you are sitting on is a product. The biro, the paper you are using to jot down are all products. And we said products are classified into two broad categories. Number one, which is the industrial goods, and the consumer goods. We said industrial goods include the following: raw materials, which is broken down into agric and natural products. Then we have the number two, which is the fabricating materials, and so on. Now for the consumer goods, we also said consumer goods is broken down into different angles. Number one, which is said we have the unsought goods, the staple goods, the shopping goods, and under the shopping goods we broke it down into homogeneous and heterogeneous types of goods. My dear learners at home, we've come to the end of this lesson. Now for your assignment, we're going to take a look at define what a product is. You're going to state the difference between industrial and commercial and consumer goods. Number three, you write short notes on the following terms with examples. 1. Convenience goods, shopping goods, specialty goods, and unsought goods. I repeat the assignment once more. Number 1, define product. 2, state the difference between industrial goods and consumer goods. Number 3, write short notes on the following terms with examples. 1. Convenience goods. 2. Shopping goods. 3. Specialty goods. 4. Unsought goods. In case of any questions and uncleared problem that you have, you can contact me on the number showing on your screen, 080 36 37 3342. I repeat, 080 36 37 3342. Stay home, stay safe, keep learning.